See, here's my ID. Here's my ID. Here is my audience. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So as you may or may not know, I get the incredible honor of serving as a high school and middle school football coach. It is something that is way more than a job to me. It is something that I take very seriously, and I feel like I have a moral responsibility to help the next generation as they grow up. Naturally, winning football games is very important, but over the last 2.5 years on the job, I've learned that what it takes to be a great coach goes far beyond what it says in the job description. It takes a man who is willing to step onto a pedestal and lead by their actions and not just their words. It takes a man that is constantly trying to get better in every part of themselves on and off the field. It takes a man that is steady in their faith no matter the circumstances. And lastly, it takes a man that is willing to be transparent and love the kids that they coach unconditionally. Now, although all that sounds great, I cannot say that I came up with that definition by myself. I had some great coaches that showed me exactly how it was done. I even had a coach read from a devotional book written by none other than the great Tony Dungy. After hearing Coach Dungy's words and the truth that he spoke, I took it upon myself to do some research on my own. With all that said, I can honestly say that the way I try to coach my kids reflects the teachings of Coach Dungy. Tony Dungy was more than just a great football mind. He was a man who taught others how to be great as an athlete, man, and in their faith. To give you a better understanding of Coach Dungy, let's take a look at his life. According to Coach Dungy's website, he was born on October 6, 1955, in Jackson, Michigan. Tony Dungy grew up in a house where family and education were very important. He was one of 3 siblings, and he grew up in a household of educators. His father, Wilbur, was a science professor at Jackson Community College, and his mother, Cleo May, taught high school Shakespeare. Dungy took his education very seriously himself, and when he was 14, he was elected student body president at Jackson's Parkside High School. It was also at Parkside High School where Coach Dungy excelled in basketball, football, and track. Not only was Tony Dungy a great student, he utilized his God-given talents both as a player and coach of the game of football. Tony Dungy began his college career in 1973 at the University of Minnesota. Early on in his career, he overtook the starting quarterback role, and it was the beginning of a historic career. During his 4-year career as a Gopher, Dungy finished as the program's leader in pass attempts, completions, touchdown passes, and passing yards. He was also a 2-time academic All-Big Ten selection, and he was the recipient of the Big Ten's Medal of Honor. Despite an amazing college career, no NFL team believed that his skills would transfer to the pro level. After not getting selected in the 1977 NFL Draft, he tried out for the Pittsburgh Steelers and converted into a safety. Playing under coach Chuck Noll, Dungy adapted to his role and eventually led the team in interceptions during the Steelers' 1978 Super Bowl winning season. The following year, Tony Dungy was traded to the San Francisco 49ers, where he played 1 season. He was then traded to the New York Giants, where he was cut prior to the start of the season and eventually retired. Where Tony Dungy really made a name for himself was as a football coach and leader. After a short stint at his alma mater of the University of Minnesota and 1 season back with the Steelers, he got his first head coaching job in 1996 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Despite making the Bucs a playoff contender after years of losing seasons, he was fired in 2001. He then became the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts shortly after, which marked the start of a historic run. During his 7-year run with the Colts, he had the opportunity to coach Hall of Fame quarterback Peyton Manning. On February 4th, 2007, the Colts defeated the Chicago Bears in the Super Bowl, and according to the NFL's Hall of Fame website, that win made Tony Dungy the first African-American coach to win a Super Bowl, or to coach a Super Bowl winning club. He retired in 2008 after 31 years of coaching, and it capped off an amazing career. Tony Dungy created an impressive resume for himself on the football field, both as a player and a coach. but it was his role as a leader that made him one of the greatest coaches of all time. As previously stated, one of the most important qualities a coach can have is the ability to connect with his players. Tony Dungy is one of the greatest examples of this quality and is one of my biggest inspirations in this profession. According to the NFL Hall of Fame's website, Tony Dungy was quoted by saying the following: "The secret to success is good leadership, and good leadership is all about making the lives of your team members and workers better." End quote. I'm a firm believer that this is the difference maker in his team's success because of the way he led. Tony Dungy has been involved in a wide variety of charitable organizations, including All Pro Dad, Abe Brown Ministries, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and many more, according to the Tony Dungy website. After retiring from coaching, Tony Dungy now serves as a studio analyst for NBC's Football Night in America. He and his wife Lauren are the parents of 10 children. In conclusion, Tony Dungy rightly had a Hall of Fame career. Although his playing career was short, his impact on the game was tremendous as a head football coach. Like I said from the start, Tony Dungy excelled in every aspect of the job, and he is a perfect example of any coach for any sport on how to lead a team. That's that.
I love it.